Hello, internet. I've been having a really hard time lately, and I've been kind of bottling everything up and not letting it out. And that's not good. It's not a good way to live your life. You got to let these things out, or else they're going to eat you from the inside out. And the best way to do that, in my opinion, is through art and music and, whatever form of expression that you have. I wouldn't say it's the only thing you need to do, but it's a very important thing to do. It's a very important process of excavating your, internal problems because you are the only person who can really figure out what's going on with you at the end of the day. You don't always know what's happening. You don't always know the solution, but nobody knows you better than you know you, and nobody knows how to express themselves from your perspective better than you. So art is a very helpful way to do this. And, I don't want to get into the nitty-gritty of everything, but I feel like with my art and my music lately, I haven't really been putting myself fully into it. And I think it's because I've been scared to confront the things that have been going on. And, people will say often that art is a reflection of life. And I think that that's 100% true. But art is what you choose to reflect from your life. It's not just inherently whatever you're dealing with, it's whatever you're choosing to express and let out. And in my opinion, what's the point of what's the point of that if you're not going to put everything into it, you know? Like you're not necessarily doing art as a whole justice if there's things that are really keeping you up at night or bothering you and you're not putting them in your music, like or your art or whatever form of expression that you have. I think a lot of times people are scared to put themselves out there, which is understandable, but a lot of times it's because they haven't worked through their problems on their own, like or sometimes you'll make art, you'll make music, you'll make whatever, and you may not even realize what you're putting into it, and other people will see it without you even consciously doing it. But I think that art should be self expression, art should be whatever you're dealing with at the time. I think that's a huge part of how art can help people. And then what that does is your story, your situation might be relatable to other people that are having a hard time sifting through a similar problem in their own life. So, just by documenting your experience and putting it out there, you could be helping people going through similar experiences without having to talk to them directly and without having to give them like direct advice. Because a lot of times, advice from somebody else, maybe it's inspiring for you to do something different and to try something or to like work on different aspects of your life. But the advice itself is not going to change your situation. You have to change your situation. So recently, I've been sort of over planning my art. I've been overthinking my music. I've been really putting too much thought into what I want to say in my music, what kind of music I want to make, how I want to put it out there. And I've sort of realized that it's been a way for me to sort of censor myself. And it's been a way for me to overcomplicate the process of making art so that I don't have to actually talk about the things that I should talk about. Because, in my opinion, not every single time, but there are certain times when you're making art that whatever you don't want to talk about is what you should talk about. Like, there's a reason that it's eating you up inside, and getting it out can be very cathartic. And sometimes you don't even have to release it to the public. You can just make it for yourself. But even that in itself, that process can be very helpful at excavating certain things going on in your mind. And I think that a lot of times people will I mean, I'm speaking from my own perspective, but I've seen this in other people. A lot of times people will overcomplicate the process of making art because they're scared, because they don't want to actually put it all out there. They don't want to actually do what it takes to make the most authentic art that they can. So they'll put these barriers on themselves and they'll make excuses as to why they can't do it because they're afraid. They don't want to. But I don't know. I don't think that that's sometimes it's fine, but I think if that's all you do, then you got to really kind of really rethink why you're making art in the first place. So I'm saying all this to say that recently I decided, fuck it. I'm just going to make a list of all the things that I don't really want to talk about that maybe I'm, keeping in and then I'm hiding from other people and hiding from myself. And I'm just going to put it all into a song. I'm not going to overthink it. I'm just going to make it. And then I made it and I decided to just put it out because, again, why not? So if you're interested, that is in the bio. It's the first link in my bio. And the reason that I really needed to put this out into the world is because I needed to do it for myself. And I also felt like I needed to do it because of everything I'm talking about in this video. Like if I'm going to come on here and talk about, inspiring ways to make art and, what you should be doing to express yourself, I need to make sure that I'm doing it myself. And I say on this channel a lot, I need this advice as much as anybody else. I need to hear the things I'm saying just as much as anybody else watching these videos. And the reason that I feel the need to talk about these things is because I need to hear them. I need to work through them on my own. So hopefully not only do these videos inspire you to reach that point, but maybe this song will also inspire you to reach that point. And again, I'm not really trying to promote my song. I guess I am promoting my song, but the purpose of this video is to get you to a point where you can talk about things that you maybe feel uncomfortable talking about in your art for yourself so that you can work through it for yourself and let some of that out. Because the more you keep things in, and listen, not everybody has art. Not everybody has an artistic outlet where they can express themselves. And that's even harder because it's a lot harder to just have a conversation with somebody about certain things. Like just kind of confronting it head on is very difficult. So art is a good way to kind of mediate that. And again, I'm not saying that people need to do this and release it and make it their career and all that stuff. No, just make it for yourself. Write a poem, record a video or something, like make a song, make a painting, make a drawing. There's so many different ways that you can express yourself and let things out without necessarily having to have a direct conversation with somebody about it, you know? So that's all I wanted to say in this video. Again, this channel really at this point is just to inspire people to make art. I just want people to be able to express themselves and not put boundaries on their own art. So hope you like this video. If you like it, I put out a new video every Sunday, so you can come back next week for a new one, and I will see you then.